NetEase for 2 whole decades. That name has meant one thing: online, multiplayer, live service domination. These are the giants of the games as a service model, the architects behind massive online worlds, the current frantic hero shooter like Marvel Rivals. So when a company like this pours a colossal AAA level budget into a finite, story-driven single-player game, you really have to kind of ask yourself, have they completely lost their goddamn minds? Or is this one of the smartest gambles in the entire industry right now? The game is called Blood Message, and it looks like a massive shift in strategy from one of the industry's titans out there. This isn't just a brand new title. It feels like a statement of intent. It's a declaration that after 20 long years of mastering the online space, that NetEase is ready to play a totally different game. And to understand why they're making this bet, we need to look at what they are building, the incredible history it's based on, and the changing tide to the very industry that helped create it.
I'm just trying to find my place.
So the first question is, what exactly is Blood Message? On the surface, it's a third-person linear action-adventure game, but that description barely scratches the surface of its ambition. It's being developed by 24 Entertainment, the same studio that gave us the Melee Battle Royale Naraka Blade Point, and it's actually one of my favorite BRs out there. It's a radical departure from their current formula, forgetting the sprawling multiplayer arenas. Blood Message is a tightly focused, cinematic, and narrative-heavy experience built on Unreal Engine 5. Now, the game throws you into the final chaotic years of China's legendary Tang Dynasty, a time of incredible culture and brutal political collapse. You are not some emperor, you're not a general, or some mythical warrior, right? You know, you got your stories like Dynasty Warriors, the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, right? You're not none of those, right? You are just some nameless messenger, quite an ordinary man traveling with his son. Your mission, though, is quite monumental. You need to carry a critical message across a war-torn country, a treacherous 1,000-mile odyssey from the remote outpost of Duanhong all the way to the imperial capital Chang'an. This journey isn't just a background for cool fights, it's the heart of the story. Quite a desperate pilgrimage through desolate deserts, past active sieges, and across the unforgiving wilderness of East and as well as Central Asia. This whole premise is quite steep in real herring history because it's inspired by the Duanhong uprising, a rebellion against the Tibetan rule. After a major victory, the rebel general sent 10 groups of messengers to the Tang Emperor, but the roads were so dangerous that only one group actually ever made it. The Blood Message is the story of those unsung heroes, a tale of loyalty, survival, and the sacrifices made by normal people caught in the gears of history. This isn't just any other game, you know, this isn't some BS, you know, this is just a playable historical saga promising quite a deeply emotional journey about the bonds of family set against a backdrop of an empire's collapse. Now, a game like this doesn't just appear out of nowhere, right? This is a absolute result of deliberate high-stakes pivoting. For a company like NetEase, who perfected the art of the infinitely playable live service game, investing a fortune in a single-player story with a real ending seems almost backwards, right? But when you zoom out, the logic becomes crystal clear. This isn't just some form of a gamble, it's a multi-layer play for the future. First, and maybe the most importantly, NetEase is tapping into a very real feeling in the market, right? Audience fatigue. The live service space is brutally competitive, just plain oversaturated. Gamers are, like myself, I'm one of those gamers, are really getting tired of endlessly battle passes, microtransactions, games that feel more like a second job. There is a powerful, vocal, and underserved hunger for polished, complete, premium single-player games. A game where you can start, you get lost in, and you can just actually finish the game. By creating Blood Message, NetEase is directly answering that call, positioning itself to capture a huge part of the market that feels ignored by the industry's obsession with this forever games that needs to last to the end of time, 10 plus years, right? I'm tired of it. I know a lot of other people are tired of it, and mostly my channel alone really focuses on games that try to stay away from the microtransactions and the live service nature. Secondly, this is a play for prestige and to evolve their brand as a whole. Multiplayer games make incredible amounts of money, right? It's honestly the biggest money maker out there. But it's the big, bold, single-player stories that actually tend to win Game of the Year awards. You know, they become cultural stones in the market. Think of like God of War, Last of Us, hell, even this year's Game of the Year contender, Expedition 33, and as well as Death Stranding 2. You got games out there that is absolutely amazing, that are single-player games that, in my opinion, is definitely more appealing than just some live service slop. These elevate studios from just service providers to a world-class creative force. NetEase has been a financial titan for years now. They have mobile games, they have other games that are like on consoles and PC, and it looks like they want to do something that's a little bit more artistic, a little bit more cinematic, and actually show that, hey, not only can we do this, we also can help out this market as well. And also, in a recent press release, NetEase Executive Vice President Jinpeng Hu even said that after 2 decades, they are prepared to truly deliver a truly epic and cinematic experience for players around the world. This is NetEase planting that flag. Third is about the global stage. Now, China overall has been cooking in the gaming market, and we are living through a watershed moment for Chinese game development. The phenomenal success of games like Black Myth Wukong, who was a Game of the Year contender last year, prove that there is a massive global audience for AAA titles that are rooted in Chinese history and as well as mythology. NetEase is clearly paying attention. Blood Message isn't just for the domestic market, it's a cinematic style and universal theme of family and sacrifice that are built for international appeal. By telling an authentic story from a specific moment in Chinese history, they're offering a unique cultural product that cannot be easily replicated by Western studios, establishing China as a creator of top-tier, globally competitive games. And finally, and last but not least of this, is that this is a massive tech showcase. Building a game like Blood Message on Unreal Engine 5 allows NetEase to sharpen their entire development pipeline and show off their technical skills. The new techniques that they develop for rendering and animation and world design for a game that this beautiful can be used across all their future projects, and multiplayer included. It is an investment inside of their own ecosystem. So, understanding the why is one thing, but it's the how, the actual execution, that will decide if this bet that NetEase is having really pays off. And from what we've seen, NetEase is mixing proven formulas with a unique perspective to create something that feels both familiar and refreshingly new. It all starts with their approach to cinematic storytelling. The developers have been very clear that this is a linear, narrative-driven game, which immediately brings to mind giants of the genre like Last of Us, Tomb Raider, God of War, especially the remakes, well, the new sequels, God of War 2017, 2018, as well as God of War Ragnarok, right? Those single player games have truly shown that there is a true focus on emotional, character driven plots, centering the story on a father and son, not some superhero, not some supernatural stuff. The game is aiming for a more intimate and relatable emotional connection. It's a journey about survival where bonds between two people is constantly being tested by war and the wildness of that war. This focus on just ordinary people that gives the story real stakes. Then, of course, during the gameplay trailer showcase, oh my god, the gameplay alone, I had faith because, like I said, I'm a big fan of 24 Entertainment's take on Naraka Blade Point. The combat, that was one of my favorite battle royales because I really enjoyed the combat of Naraka Blade Point. But showcasing that they can really mix Naraka Blade Point's combat feel and make it a little bit more visceral, that more realistic combat. It's just being blended well with methodical stealth and survival mechanics. This just won't be just fighting your way through the world, but you're navigating it. This is just quite a more grounded, thoughtful experience where every fight is a life or death puzzle and managing your resources is critical. The goal isn't just to be this next blockbuster action game, kind of very similar to like Black Myth Wukong, but quite an immersive survival odyssey where the 1,000-mile journey itself is your main enemy. Finally, there's the deep commitment to historical and cultural authenticity. This is probably the game's greatest strength and what makes it truly stand out. The setting isn't just a generic, oh, we're in ancient China and this is a cool backdrop. No. This is focusing on a real time period. It's the late Tang Dynasty, a very specific tumultuous era that China has went through. And as we're actually seeing the final moments, the final years of that era, the developers have done quite extensive research to realistically portray the culture, the look of the period, and it shows, man. That's why I'm like, this overall dedication really is going to elevate the game beyond a simple adventure into a piece of interactive history, which helps invite players to experience a time and a place that is rarely ever explored with this level of detail. Now, this incredible mix of history, cinematic storytelling, and grounded survival gameplay makes Blood Message one of the most fascinating projects on the horizon. It's a bold new direction for a studio that we all thought we knew. If you're as excited as I am to see if NetEase can actually pull this off, pull that gamble off, then make sure you subscribe to the channel for my full breakdown and review whenever I can get my hands on this. Hopefully they drop a demo, alpha test, beta test, something of that nature. If I can get my hands on it, you definitely know I'm definitely going to be covering it. And I want to actually hear from my outcasts in the comment section below. Tell me what makes a single player game truly unforgettable for you. Is it the story? Is it the gameplay? Or is it the world itself? In the end though, NetEase's massive bet on Blood Message is far from a sign of madness, you know? It's one of the most logical and forward-thinking moves a company of its size could make right now, and it's a direct response to a hungry market, a powerful play for artistic prestige, a confident step onto the global stage, and as well as a long-term investment in their own creative, right? And it just technical future. This, depending on how well this game goes, it could basically, NetEase could soar and it could really help truly take over the market as they are shifting from a company that just provides a service to one that can just create legacy-based games that people will talk about from years and years to come. Because Blood Message is so much more than just NetEase's first AAA single-player game. It actually can represent the convergence of major industry trends, the evolution of a gaming giant, and the continued rise of China as a powerhouse in the global game development. It's an ode to the unsung heroes of history, told through what looks to be visceral gameplay and a stunning cinematic presentation. All the pieces are in place for this to be a landmark release that redefines what we expect from NetEase, and the only question now is, will they stick the landing? Other than that, outcast, stay safe out there, and it's been your host, Chaos TTV, signing out. Peace.